Hello and welcome to Newsfeed, your daily dose of what people are talking about online, from news stories to what's trending. Now, Ukraine's counteroffensive around the northeastern city of Kharkiv is continuing at pace. President Volodymyr Zelensky says that across the country, his troops have retaken more than 6,000 square kilometers of Ukrainian territory from Russia this month alone. Moscow has admitted to losing key cities, but is calling its troop withdrawal a regrouping. Rahul Radhakrishnan is in the capital, Kyiv.
Over the past couple of weeks, there has been this lightning offensive, this counteroffensive led by the Ukrainian forces. They've surrounded the area of Kharkiv. This is exactly where they're moving into. This counteroffensive that came as a surprise to many because there was another counteroffensive taking place in the south of Ukraine in the Kherson region. There has been a lot of retaliatory attacks from the Russian military. As this tweet from Ukrainian media shows, there has been a complete blackout of the region in Kharkiv. It has no electricity, it has no heating, and as you can tell, I'm wearing a jacket. It is getting quite cold, even though it is mid-September. The Ukrainians say that these are the consequences of continuous shelling, what they call insidious shelling by the Russians. However, the Ukrainians are steadfast. They feel very headstrong about this counteroffensive of theirs. The ambassador to the United Nations from Ukraine likens the Russian forces fleeing the Kharkiv region to a bunch of headless chickens running away from that region. So as you can tell, the Ukrainians do feel very confident about their stance at the moment. Meanwhile, we have heard reports of the Ukrainian prosecutor general visiting this Kharkiv region in order to investigate allegations of war crimes, much like what we've seen before in the Bucha region.
Meanwhile, in Russia, more than 30 municipal deputies have signed a petition asking President Vladimir Putin to resign. In a rare show of opposition, the deputies, who serve in Moscow, St. Petersburg, and other cities, say Putin's actions are harming the future of Russia and its citizens. It goes on to say, "We demand the resignation of Putin from the post of president of the Russian Federation." The officials could face jail time as it's illegal to publish so-called fake news about the war, which Putin calls a special military operation. It's been another busy day for the King and Queen consort in the wake of Queen Elizabeth's death. They headed to Northern Ireland to meet local leaders and attend a service at St. Anne's Cathedral in Belfast. Meanwhile, the Queen's coffin heads to London to rest overnight at Buckingham Palace. Earlier, thousands of Scottish mourners paid their last respects to the late Queen. The queue stretched for well over 2 kilometers, with some having joined the line and waiting overnight. Others were in line for over 5 hours. But it was worth it, says James Churchfield, adding that he couldn't even consider not going to pay his respects. Agreed, says Neil McGill, who says it was a humbling experience. Scotland has done the Queen and the nation proud. But Phil Harrison thinks they're mad. In London, people have been told that the queue might take up to 35 hours. This country is tapped, isn't it, he says, obviously saying that the UK is messed up. More than 100 kings, queens, and heads of state are expected to attend next Monday's funeral. And that's causing a logistical and security headache for the British government, trying to balance the needs of foreign VIPs. And here's what we know so far. All VIPs have been asked to take a bus to Westminster Abbey to avoid gridlocking the capital. Exceptions have been made for the U.S. President Joe Biden, who's bringing the beast. And there are also exceptions for Macron of France, Japan's Emperor Naruhito, and President Herzog of Israel. Although the guest list hasn't been finalized, it's expected Russia and North Korea will be represented, but Myanmar, a former colony, will not be invited. World leaders who have confirmed include the monarchs of Europe and the prime ministers of New Zealand, Canada, and Australia, and presidents of South Africa and Germany. Former leaders such as Donald Trump are not invited. Meanwhile, back at Buckingham Palace and nearby Green Park, mourners have been arriving and laying tributes. mainly flowers and handwritten messages. Others have left Paddington Bear dolls and even marmalade sandwiches, no doubt prompted by the sketch for the Platinum Jubilee where the Queen had tea with Paddington Bear and revealed she kept a marmalade sandwich in her handbag for emergencies. But the royal parks have said this is having a negative impact on wildlife and they're asking people not to leave marmalade sandwiches. Several people were injured in a crush at the Nairobi Stadium where President William Ruto was being sworn in. The stadium started filling with his supporters from 5 a.m., many dressed in yellow and green, the colors of Ruto's political party. Hours before the ceremony, police tweeted that the stadium was full and people should watch the proceedings from home. Despite the warnings, people kept pushing to get inside. Some were rushed to hospital with minor injuries.
More than 60,000 Kenyans have come to Kasarani Stadium ready to witness the swearing in of Kenya's fifth President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua. They came as early as 4:30 a.m. camping at Kasarani Stadium. Of course, there's been a back and forth between Kenyans and the police, but that's something that has been sorted. But one thing that is interesting is the talk on social media. Hashtag Ruto the Fifth is what is trending in Kenya. Kenyans are sharing opinions of what they expect in this government, given that now they're dealing with high fuel prices. We're talking about unemployment. We are also talking about high fuel prices that has really skyrocketed in Kenya. The cost of living is also high, and it will be interesting to see how the Ruto government will be able to tackle that. We have 20 presidents who are in attendance of this swearing in. We have the East African community is also represented. Rwanda's Paul Kagame. We also have Uganda's Yoweri Museveni, who also made a tweet following the same. We also have the U.S. Ambassador Trade, Ambassador Tai, who made an appearance and also is also leading a delegation from the United States. Social media is buzzing.
All right, on to what's trending. A road safety ad by the Indian government has been criticized for being problematic. Now, the ad features one of Bollywood's biggest stars, Akshay Kumar, as a cop and was meant to promote airbags. But critics say it instead advocates dowry culture by hinting that the car in the safety ad was given by the bride's father.
What's missing in this car? It's automatic, there's a sunroof, and an imported music system. There aren't 2, but 6 speakers.
But there were only 2 airbags, right? Why not 6? If there's an accident, only the front airbags will deploy. If your daughter and son-in-law are listening to music while sitting in the car's back seat, it could be goodbye to both of them forever.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Why are you crying now? Now they're safe. Laugh, buddy. If you have 6 airbags in your car, your drive will be much safer.
And the outrage online was swift. Anisha Bedi from the WHO's Southeast Asia's regional office asked, so now it's normal to glorify dowry in the name of road safety. Do ad makers live in oblivion? While MP Priyanka Chartuvedi also questioned the ad company for creating the problematic advert. She also asked why the government is spending money to promote dowries as they're actually illegal under Indian law. Now, the practice has been illegal since 1961 in India, but it continues to thrive. Giving dowry is a centuries-old tradition in South Asia where the bride's parents give cash, cars, clothes, and jewelry to the groom's family. A World Bank study last year found that a dowry was paid in 95% of marriages in India, and they make up a substantial portion of household savings and income. And while there was a lot of outrage over the dowry issue online, others like Trinamool Congress Party spokesperson Sakit Gokhale here pointed out that the dowry debate deflects from actual road safety issues. Now, Indian billionaire Cyrus Mistry was killed in a car accident recently, and that's reignited conversation about the state of the country's roads. Gokhale says the government's road safety ad deflects this responsibility, pushing people to buy expensive cars when roads badly need to be fixed. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket had a system failure during an unmanned launch of its New Shepard capsule that's similar to the one used for sending crews up for suborbital flights. About a minute after liftoff, the rocket had to abort its mission. The escape system was initiated due to the mishap, and the capsule jettisoned with parachutes. Well, the launch was live streamed, but the tech company Blue Origin also confirmed the issue on its Twitter account, saying the capsule successfully separated from the booster. The New Shepard is designed to take astronauts and research payloads past the Kármán line, the internationally recognized boundary of space. Blue Origin has said it's looking into the issue. Now, remember Velma from Scooby-Doo? Well, the one with the thick-rimmed glasses and orange jumper? Well, pretty much the brains of the group. Well, her popularity has taken a huge hit. In fact, she's being called a Karen, the pejorative slang name for angry, entitled, and often racist women. Why? Well, Velma is one of the main characters in the online fighting game Multiverses, and in the game, she had the ability to call the cops on her opponents. And I said had because she can no longer call the police. Basketball star LeBron James is also a popular character in Multiverses, but Velma could call the cops to arrest LeBron too. People didn't like that, and it led to a social media backlash. The game version of Velma soon became known as Karen because, well, she was obviously being racist. The game, which was released by Warner Brothers, has since taken Velma's cop-calling powers away. Like I said, Velma is one of the most picked main characters in Multiverses, but this racist feature made a lot of people uncomfortable. Here you can see the moment she points her opponent out to the police car as it arrives. This netizen says playing a character whose special move is calling the police on her enemies definitely didn't sit right with him as a black man. And in this tweet, you see a screen grab from the game, and this user can't stop laughing at the scene because LeBron looks innocent, while there's Velma being a typical Karen. On top of people calling her Karen, some like this user here also called Velma a snitch in the Multiverses. So it was a night of many firsts at the Emmys in LA. Squid Game's Lee Jung-jae became the first Asian star to win the award for Best Male Actor in a Drama Series. The South Korean actor played the role of a cash-strapped father in the hit Netflix show. Squid Game's creator, Hwang Dong-hyuk, won the Best Drama Series Director prize, also the first Asian to do so. For the second year running, Ted Lasso won the award for Best Comedy Series. Zendaya won Best Drama Actress, also for the second time, for playing teen drug addict Rue in Euphoria. Hotel satire White Lotus was the biggest winner overall, picking up 10 awards, including for Best Limited Series. And that's something that's got comedian Rosie O'Donnell's stamp of approval.
I like a lot of what I'm seeing. I don't know, White Lotus was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was a perfect canvas. It was a magnificent work of art.
Not gonna lie, White Lotus is one of my favorite series from the past year, and I'm glad the critics felt it should get props. Meanwhile, netizens have been pointing out other historic wins at Monday's Emmys.
Several stars made Emmys history with their wins tonight. Quinta Brunson took home the Emmy for writing for a comedy series for Abbott Elementary. She is the third Black person and the second Black woman to win this category. Zendaya won lead actress in a drama series for her role as Rue in Euphoria. That makes her the first Black woman to win in this category twice, and the youngest two-time winner of any Emmy in history.
And red carpet fashion. That's something always discussed and dissected after awards shows. Everyone's a fashion critic, eh? Well, some stars have been sharing on TikTok how they glammed up for the awards show.
Kaylee, can I ask you?
Mommy's working.
I just...
Ah.
One... I just have a...
I need you to...
It's just a question about...
Working.
That's my mood every day at the office. Just kidding. And that brings us to the end of today's newsfeed. Find this show on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you same time tomorrow.